It's the Boom Bap Hour.
Yeah. You know what the fuck it is. We back.
Word up, you already know what time it is, baby. It's the Boom Bap Hour, man, and we up in here, man.
What's good, y'all? It feels so good to be back, y'all. It's been a minute, right?
Another day, another dollar.
Yes, it's been a minute, but we back up in this bitch.
Yes,
It's officially
yes.
hot.
It's hot.
It's summertime
Turn it
hot
up.
right now.
It's hot. It is officially summertime banger right now.
Yes.
It's not
yes.
playing out there right
It's
now.
right now. And it's so hot. So with that being said, we celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And
50
with
years
that,
of
with
hip-hop.
that
50 years.
note, 50 years, baby, up in this joint. We got my
Yes.
man Juice up in the building
What it
from
do, what it
Twisted
do?
Elements crew.
Everybody
What
give it
up,
for
Juice? What's good, big homie?
How y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
Yes,
Boy,
doing
man.
Chilling,
good,
doggy. How about you?
man.
You been
How
all
you
right, man?
feeling?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing
No
real
doubt,
good.
no doubt.
Blessings, blessings, and blessings. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
right. On
good.
top of blessings, right?
On top of blessings.
Yes. That's
All day,
right.
every day.
Oh, yeah,
All day,
man.
every day.
Why it's hot, too.
Yes.
I'm going to keep saying how hot it is. Like, 'cause it's just that. I'm talking about I'm
Just in case they
sweating.
didn't catch that, it's a little bit hot outside.
Just a little bit.
Well,
And-
it
and
is
it's
Augusta,
hot, too.
Georgia.
It's hot too.
And we
Yeah.
in Augusta.
Exactly.
Just a little
Different
bit.
type of heat.
Yes. So we celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and we are actually doing a hip hop 50-year anniversary celebration that we are definitely going to be having like the hottest acts on. Okay, Positive K. I mean,
That's a legend right there. Hold on, whoa.
Headlining.
Stop. Positive K.
Yes,
Oh,
I
man,
got
that's
a
a
man. What
legend.
your man got to do with me? You feel me? I'm not trying to hear that. See, come on, man.
He's
like,
still
y'all don't know.
performing.
Now you know.
Legendary NYC rapper,
Oh,
Yes.
Positive K.
yeah. Coming up in the building, man. That's going to be dope right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
August 11th. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
And we have a wonderful lineup of awesome Augusta hip hop talent that is also going to be on this legendary lineup as well. So it's definitely going to be an event that you don't want to forget. So, Juice.
What's up? What's up?
Yes, from the Twisted Elementz crew. Yes, he definitely is going to be in the house, and we're going to be doing a B-boy, B-girl
Yo, Juice.
celebration battle. What's up?
What's good, man? How you feeling about hip hop, man, and the way it's going right now?
We need to take control back. Just real talk. We got to take control back because the industry done turn this shit into nothing but drugs and killing yourself, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? We got to take it back to where it came from, and the only way to do that is make the change in your city and then take it worldwide.
Okay.
When you saying the change in the city, what you mean by that?
I mean, you got a few cats that, you know what I'm saying, are on the conscious tip and actually like real hip hop, but as a whole, you go outside and you ask somebody, yo, spit a rhyme. It's kill this, kill that, smoke this, drink that, and that's it. They ain't got nothing else really that they want to say because they think that to get on, they got to talk about this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody just want to be, everybody want to be a front runner, but they don't realize that not everybody can be a front runner. You know what I'm saying? It takes a whole squad to make the show, to make change. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like everybody want to be the
Definitely
lead
takes a
news
team.
anchor. Everybody want to be the lead news anchor, but if you ain't got
Nobody want to be the cameraman.
yeah, if you ain't got a cameraman, you ain't got the production, you ain't got the shit behind you, there is no news show. You know what I'm saying? So, like, play your position.
Too many chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. But play your position and make sure that you do your part to steer stuff in the way that you think is going to benefit the city as a whole. And if everybody has that mentality, you'll see the change.
I mean,
But-
I think that's definitely true. I mean, even just taking into consideration of the whole event of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And we are actually giving James Brown, which What day were you born? Hold on. Let me
I was
just think.
born
Well,
on
first of all,
Jack
wait.
Day.
We going too ahead of ourselves, Juice.
Right.
Let's talk about this B-boy thing, man.
Right.
Now, B-boy, where did you start? How did that started for you?
For me personally, okay, so like growing up, I had 3 tapes that was mine at the house. That was Beat Street, Breaking 2, and Body Rock.
Okay, so you referring to something that these kids don't know about.
Hold
which
on,
is
wait a minute.
VHS
Whoa. You said
tapes.
who?
VHS tapes.
Body Rock.
Body Rock.
Body Rock.
What about Wild Style?
At that point I didn't have it. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
you
Wild
did.
Style might not have been on VHS at that point.
It really
Okay.
wasn't.
We
It
talking
really
about
wasn't.
mid 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet. Yeah.
I only
yeah.
had 3 tapes that was mine at the house.
That you own.
Actually, I take that back. I have 4 because
Okay.
I had Barry Gordon's Last Dragon,
Okay.
Breaking
Okay,
2,
that's okay.
Beat Street, and Body Rock, and those were mine.
All right.
You know what
all
I'm saying?
right.
So
What-
I grew up
which-
watching it, but I didn't actually do it then.
Which one of them really got you into, like, was it Breaking 2?
It had to be.
I knew it.
what I'm
I
saying?
had,
But
for some
was
reason,
my
you know
it
why
stopped.
though? You know why though? The music.
The music.
You know what I'm saying? It made you want to dance.
Wait, not Beat Street though?
How not B Street though?
Beat Street, yeah, but it didn't focus around that enough for my taste. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was little, before I knew anything about anything. You feel me? Because I grew up in Augusta. You know what I mean? We didn't know a whole lot about that type of stuff.
Okay, so this is okay. So you saying in the '80s? Now, I got something about that too. Now, B-boy to you,
Yeah.
what does B-boy mean to you?
B-boy to me means a beat boy. You know what I'm saying? The music make you move. Like
Right.
Like B-boy was the first like actual style that came
Uh-huh.
well actually rocking. You had rocking first,
Okay.
rocking and burning.
Okay.
And then it went to
pop, okay.
to B-boy.
Right.
In the West Coast, around the same time, they had the popping
Poppin',
starting. You know what I'm saying?
Popping and locking.
Yeah.
Now,
that-
do you know
They
where
had to group
the
the
term?
lockers.
What does B-boy actually mean?
Like what you mean?
Do you know what that actually, like the word B-boy, like what does it actually mean? What does it stand for?
Tell me.
Do you know?
Because I was always told it was beat boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, I come to find out that it stands for where it originated from, the Bronx
Right.
Boys.
Well, yeah, I've
and then
heard
it
that
turned
too.
into
Yeah.
B-boy. And then I heard that this breakdance thing, because you know it's a different when you say breakdance and then B-boy. It's like
Yeah.
the dancers get a kind of offended. Like, hold on, wait a minute now.
it's more to me. It's more of your intentions behind the dance
Right.
that determines whether you're a b-boy or a break dancer.
So okay, like back
Because
then,
b-boy is more of a lifestyle, and
That's
it's-
what I was
It's
gonna-
the way you carry
Okay.
yourself, and it's the way you view things.
right? Because you live it. Because a lot of
But
them back
breakdancing
then,
is more of a I'm gonna do this so
Right.
I can get that.
like a routine, like
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you're just doing it. It's the difference between an MC and a rapper.
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same contradictions.
And you know what else too? Like, okay, like I was saying, like back then it was more of a like we go to these parties
Yeah.
and we're gonna battle each other
Yeah.
like that. Like yo, I
Yep.
know you can dance,
Yep.
so I'm coming to the party just to see Juice there to battle him right
Yep.
then and there.
And-
And now more it's like they say like it's more of a competition
Yeah.
style, like
But that's because everybody chasing that clout.
chasing the clout.
Everybody wants to be recognized for the work that they put in. I mean, you even look at the knowledge that we have as far as how everything started. You can go to 8 different people and get 8 different ways that it started because everybody is putting their own information in. You feel me?
Well, that's funny you say starting. So since you from Augusta, right?
Right.
All right, so be born in Augusta. When did it actually started here in Augusta?
From what I've been told, talking to a couple of the people that came before me,
Right.
was around 83 is when it really started to like blow up.
I
down
think
here.
I can adjust for that too, cause
Yeah.
I remember doing a fashion show.
Yeah.
I was dancing, but it wasn't b-boy dancing.
Right,
it was
right.
Michael Jackson.
right.
And they had some, yo,
MJ the King.
AJ the King, yo, rest in peace. And they had some b-boys there, and that was about around that time. So yeah, I can remember
from
that.
What I've been told, it started really getting popular here like around 83, but it was still it was more or less back then, like you said. Oh, I heard he break. I'm gonna go over here so I can try to knock him off.
Right.
And it was pretty much like that, like in neighborhoods and in the schools. But outside of that, it wasn't really so much going on with it. Like there wasn't jams and battles and things like that really going on.
Right.
But
right.
just like everything else, once like 85 hit, most of the people fell off or stopped because it was considered a fad and going out,
really?
going
Wow.
out of style.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So you
wasn't
only
really
had
doing
like a
it.
handful of people here that kept it going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But most of them went to Atlanta. Like you got Mr. Cool, Mr. World Famous.
World famous.
Yeah, he used to go by the name of B-Boy Cool,
Okay.
and he. Man, I remember I ran into him at Robbie's when I was in high school because we used to sneak up in there. But we used to battle him. It took our whole squad to battle him.
A whole squad to battle Mr.
Yeah.
Famous.
Cause he used to be.
Oh, he was.
Oh, he's nice with it?
He nice.
Yeah,
like,
'cause-
shout out to Mr. Famous, yo.
Because he was well rounded. Cause he could do both. He could pop and he could
Oh.
break. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
got you. Got
And
you.
He
so-
had both styles.
And when we were coming up, we were stuck in either or. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, if we were getting him on one hand, he'd just pop on over to the other. You know what I'm saying? Like we would battle him all the time at Robbie's.
Wow, man.
So Robbie's was the spot where
Was the
that's
spot.
where the battles
Yeah,
used to take down, go down.
Kind of, not really. It was a club that we knew we could sneak into.
And
Okay.
dance.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? 'Cause,
gotcha.
like you get there early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could go play pool,
Okay.
and then they would kick everybody out after a certain time because the
Right.
club was about to open.
Okay,
Right.
got
But
you.
once you know the DJ and shit, you just go kick it backstage with the DJ,
Okay.
and then you just walk
You
back
just
outside.
walk back
You know
outside.
what I'm saying? And so
Okay.
we'd be in the club. But to answer your question, like I got started in '98, and what made me actually start was so I had been involved with some gang activities and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting something that nobody's actually really. Not
Well,
too
they
many
said
people's
that
heard outside this room.
The funny thing about that is, they said about b-boys, they think like it's all they do is just dance and that's just it. But they really have like almost a second life out there.
Yeah,
Back then, they used to be
it
some
is legit a
tough
lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
robbing
It's
and
not
punch you in the
just-
face.
It's not just the dance. It
Right.
really is a lifestyle. Like you eat, shit, breathe, everything.
All that.
You know what I'm saying? But before I got into it, I was hanging with some gangs and doing some activities that I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And what ended up happening is a partner of mine hit me up and was like, "Yo, I need a ride real quick." Went and picked him up. He told me to pull up to this house.
Ooh.
He said, "Keep it running."
Uh-oh.
He gets out. He goes around the back of the building. I hear pop, pop, pop.
Oh.
He come back running with a kilo. Hops in the car, put the gun to my head, said, "Drive, motherfucker, drive."
What? It sound
I
like
drive.
some
I drive. Come to find out, he killed somebody.
My
You know what I'm
God.
saying? But I never said nothing. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting caught on his own. You know what I'm saying? He ended up going to
Okay.
jail for life. You know what I'm saying? But my life could have been done right then and there. Accessory. And I didn't even know what the hell was going on. I was just trying to help somebody.
Facts.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's a lot of stories like
that's
that.
a message for everybody listening.
Yeah.
Other people's shit will get you messed up.
Word.
definitely other people's
but,
stuff.
But
would
the weight
definitely
of
do
that, you know what I'm saying? Because like I hung around gangsters, but I'm all heart. You know what I'm saying? And it was weighing on me heavy, and I tried to kill myself. I tried to hang myself.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? But the rope snapped, and the next day at school, I was talking to my homeboy, Kid Sonic, and he was,
Kid Sonic?
yeah, and he
Oh,
was
wow.
he was really just like a year into it,
Right.
into b-boying or whatever.
Okay.
And then our home, because we all had art together and photography together. And come to find out that our homegirl, Adrian, also was starting to learn how to break. And then my boy Tigger, he was starting to break. So we formed a little crew.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We called ourselves Floor Lords at first, but then we realized there's actually a legendary crew with that name. So we had to change
Okay.
that real quick.
Okay.
We met with a couple other cats that we knew that were older than us. One was Chad Mack. He's a white dude. He's been breaking since the 80s. He was popping and breaking and stuff like that. And we started a crew called Break Yourself crew. But that was Chad's crew. We didn't really mesh with him all that well.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then we met with who I consider my OGs, which is Ill Crew. They came out in the like 95 to 97 time frame, and then they split up because everybody was, you know what I'm saying, out of school and living adult lives and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we linked up with them, and they started getting back into it when they met us, and we started Wicked Flavors, which was the first crew that we really took and ran with and started putting Augusta on the map with Wicked Flavors. That lasted till about 03. Everybody started going their own separate ways. I found out that I had a 3-year-old daughter that I didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped everything in 03. At the end of 03, I stopped everything because I had to work 2 jobs to make ends meet.
Facts. You had a daughter to take care of.
Do it.
Joined the Army and then got messed up overseas and shit. Came home and, matter of fact, 10 years to the date of the show, August 11th, they told me I'd never dance again.
Oh, wow. So then
this is a personal victory for you, actually.
I had my hip surgery on the 13th of August, 2013.
Right.
And I've been dancing ever since.
Wow.
After they told me I wouldn't. So,
wow.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? That's interesting because, like, when I see, it's like you always put out, you know, just like videos, like day 31 of 100 or just whatever, you know. So it's just like, the thing I really love is that you just share your personal journey, you know. And do you feel like you also are an inspiration to others? I mean, because other people are like, oh, you know, I'm too, you know, I'm too old to dance or to do this or whatever. I mean, how do you feel like you putting yourself out there is inspiring others?
Well, people tell me all the time.
Wow.
Like I have people, I've met a lot of B-boys around my age group that had stopped whenever they were in their 20s and stuff, that I met like on IG or whatever, and them seeing me dance got them back dancing. You know what I'm saying? Now they're posting videos up like almost every day too. You know what I'm saying? We just feed off each other, you know what I'm saying? Just encourage and keep it going. Yeah. Like, I'm currently the oldest B-boy in the city still doing it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 41 years old and I'm still out here hanging out with the 17 through 32-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? Still trying to hang.
All right, that deserves some applause.
You know
there you go.
42.
Let's go, Juice.
For real.
Now, hold on. You told me, you said wait till we do this. You was going to explain to me because I had asked you about the show, and you said you explained to me why you don't
take money for it.
Money for that. That would shock the crap out of me.
So I don't take money for me dancing because I tried to kill myself. This brought me back.
Oh, okay. Now it makes a lot of sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can never give back what it gave me. And therefore, I'm not going to charge anybody for me doing this that I've been blessed with. You know what I'm saying? But I understand everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The business side of it.
You should get paid for your craft. But me, on a personal note, I won't take money for my craft. If you give me money, I'm just going to spread it to everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I will always owe a huge debt to this lifestyle, this craft, you know what I'm saying? Because without it, I wouldn't be sitting here. Like, I guarantee you that. I would not be sitting here.
Man, that's deep. That's well, you know, that's good because you contribute. It's like hip hop saved you.
Right.
So in return, you're
gonna do all that you can to save hip hop to preserve the culture.
Exactly, and that's why I still do it, and I'm never gonna stop. Like, when they told me I would not do this again, because like I took 10 years off, and I was dead.
Yeah, I remember you was telling me that.
I was dead inside. Like, since you've met me,
right?
You've never seen me hip injury. You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, I haven't all the time. I mean, you know,
Like,
you had some.
like when we met, I was only a year off of the surgery.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been fighting my way back up. Like, I'm still not back to where I should be, but you know what I'm saying? It's a process. Like,
So when I met you, you was just a year off, and you was dancing like that. So you really that was your comeback. Then that makes sense why it was so passionate.
Yeah.
That's what made me like you then, because that's what I saw. I saw it like it was passionate for you. Like you really love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then there wasn't a lot of B-boys around here either. So.
Yeah. So what sucks about Augusta is, like, there's not enough opportunity for B-boys really here.
Not at all,
And
man.
what's happened over the years is we'll see a surge of dancers come up, and then lack of opportunities, and them having lack of funds or a lack of opportunity to go outside of the city
Right.
to compete or perform or whatever, they give up. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see a surge, and then all but two remain. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like this since.
So how many you think is here?
As far
At
as
this
like
point.
as far as B-boys in the city,
Yeah.
that I would consider actual B-boys, like maybe 8 total.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
you get
8.
I know.
yeah, like eight legit B-boys in the city that take this shit serious and actually, you know what I'm saying, like put the
Okay.
time into it.
I mean, but honestly,
That I know.
it kind of says something to the way that things are going.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really just like with conversations about like how the U.S. now is, you know, has been, you know, the culture honestly is, you know, more recognized in other countries than it is us.
Yep.
You know, and
All
they
parts of
really,
the culture. Only the parts that are making money are recognized here in the U.S. But
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
they respect and recognize the,
But like they said,
the entire
like-
culture in other
right.
parts of the world.
You're right. You're right. Because the other part of the culture, we definitely do not respect, or we don't honor, at least.
The graffiti, the dance,
Uh-huh.
and the DJ has slowly been phased out. Like, so the only
Definitely.
thing
That
Yeah.
it's
Was
like
the
AI
MC.
can do most of that.
And that's the scary part. I mean, the way that this is going, there's trying to replace, you know, not only the MC, but you know, all parts.
It can
I mean,
try.
but honestly, it's like it tries, but it's honestly a replication because even like if you say, for instance, just to put it on a very basic level, using like a chat GPT or something like that, you know, it's like, yeah, it can come up with something for you, but it feels like it has no
no soul.
feeling behind it.
There's no
you know,
soul behind it.
There's and you
First
always
of
have
all,
to
how
go
can
back
the AI
and
really
add
know what the people want out there when they DJing or
exactly.
Yeah.
or MCing or anything else, you know. But I'm not saying that eventually the way this thing going, it's getting scary.
I mean, I just don't
It
think that
can.
people aren't
Yeah.
predictable because,
Yeah.
like, just me being a DJ, right, and DJing every week, people don't switch up what they want. So it's easy for the AI to predict what it is that they want to hear because they want it. Like, if I really could just keep playing the same music every week.
It does.
you
just
just play
like-
music
just-
without no words. It just
randomize it, the order, but not, don't play it all in the same order, but play the same exact songs every week. And people wouldn't skip a
Social
beat.
media is programming them.
Yes. And think about it. Think about it when you listen to Spotify. Think about when you listen to YouTube. It gets smarter. The more
Right,
that
it starts
you use
recommending the
the
stuff that
more-
you have started to have a trend towards.
and it knows. You
Right.
know, so it gears toward your likes and dislikes.
so eventually you saying they gonna catch it.
Right, they know what you
gonna
like.
catch it.
Right,
gonna catch
they
it.
can predict what they think you're gonna like
Yeah.
off the trends of what others have. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
Like, it's because of the gathering of information. That's what makes it so exact. It's actually gathering info off people doing it. So it's like, okay, you just like them, so we know you like
At
this.
which point it becomes more cost effective for the people that are putting on the shows or looking for a specific talent, it becomes more cost effective for them to just use the AI computer stuff than to get a DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have a more consistent, more can't think of
basically, they feel like that's something that they can depend on, and that's
they keep more money in their pocket.
exactly. They don't have
Paying
to
for
pay
the
actual
technology and not
people.
the person or the creativity.
Yep.
But
Yep.
see, that's what they're going to be lacking, though, is the creativity. It was always something, even like when I was in design school, they would always say that, you can learn a computer all day, but they can't teach you how to be an artist.
Yep.
So, I mean, it goes so far now. I mean, look at Rimini. I mean, with that new thing, everybody doing little headshots and all that,
Yep.
Yeah.
like they can do some stuff, but it's still at some point going to need some type of human input. I just feel
I think
like
eventually, after a
it's
while,
it's
though,
gonna
it
need
will
that.
enhance too. It's a higher technology. The technology will enhance to where we don't need none of that.
Yep.
It'll do it on its own.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna get to. That's the purpose of it now. We just seeing the start of the base of what the AI generation is about to be. We just it's like the beginning of hip hop. You
Yep.
know, we just at the beginning of the stage. We don't know what's gonna be 50.
Facts.
70-some years
Yes,
down the
man.
line,
That's right.
man.
But, I
It's
mean,
gonna
you
get
can also
Because
Crazy.
hip hop
As-
is definitely something different than it was
Well,
when it started.
it's funny you mentioned that, Bizzo, because
It's definitely something different.
they say it. Let's talk about that.
It's way different.
Hip hop. They say hip hop is 50 years old, but one of your fellow dancers, Crazy Legs,
Yeah.
mentioned and said that it's not.
Oh
What
man.
He
I
said-
missed it. What did he say?
Well, he was saying that what he was
It's
saying.
younger than 50.
Yeah.
That was younger
Definitely.
than
than
than 50
It
years. He was
started.
saying that it started like around, maybe I want to
He's
say
saying like 75.
75 or something like that. One, the original cool Clark Kent,
Yeah.
the fly that they got out
Yeah.
about the party and all that, about
Uh-huh.
the dance party and all that, saying that that's not official.
Right.
So it's just,
It-
these elders got to get it
it-
together, man. Because, I was born in 70. So,
But see, that's the thing though. Is like everybody wants to solidify their position in the history,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's so hard to really know, like, where it really started from. But it's
like he said, they didn't start calling it hip hop until like around the 80s.
But it doesn't.
Like
It doesn't.
early
It doesn't
80s.
change the fact that
That someone had to actually say that in a rhyme for them to label it
But it
hip hop.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it didn't start before that though. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying? Like
It's
I
funny.
feel like that's how all of history
movements
is.
don't always start with a name.
Everything is subjective. It's like you're always, no matter what, it doesn't matter what type of history that you are going to, talk about.
Right.
They're always going to have some point in history, but guess what? There's something
we
that
talking-
preceded that.
We talking about
And there's
hip hop.
something that inspired that. And I mean, I'm talking about hip hop. I'm saying that basically
talking about-
comparing it to any other thing. I mean, you have to start somewhere. And that's what
Yeah.
Crazy Legs was saying. He said, okay, even though he's saying that, even though he's talking about like there's facts, there's different, people that was like, listen,
Yeah, we back.
Back up in here another day, another dollar. It's the Boom Bap Hour, and we have returned, man.
yes, we
Whew.
are back and
Feeling
we
light,
got
too.
some things that's going on in the world that we always like to address and talk about. And we're actually going to talk about a did you know moment. Yes. So, did y'all know that Kool and the Gang is like one of the most sampled people in hip hop, and he actually just had sat down with Hip Hop DX, and they actually spoke about.
Hold on. When you say Cool in the Game, you speaking like he's an individual.
It's a
Well,
group.
no.
It's a
No.
group.
I know it's a group, but
It was really just the leader of
But
the
the
co-founder-
leader,
yeah.
that's how I'm
Robert
thinking.
Bell.
co-founder.
'Cause I-
Well, no, I said Kool and the Gang as a group has
Cool.
been sampled.
Robert Cool
okay?
Bell.
Cool,
yeah.
right?
They've been sampled more than like, oh my gosh, they've been sampled so much. like over 1,900 times. But like you said, the founder, Robert Cool Bell, had sat down and basically just let us know about like the contributions that they had to the culture, and also some of the people they actually launched that we didn't know. So as we all know, as far as the sampling, they were used for DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Summertime. So what song was that they...
Of course,
that
I
they
know. I'm
sampled?
from Philly. Like,
Okay,
don't
so go
play
ahead
with
and let
me.
them
I'm
know,
from
'cause
Philly, yo.
everyone may not know, Bizzo. Go ahead.
It's summertime.
Okay, so what did they sample from Cool the Gang?
They sample Summer Madness.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. We need a bell.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, listen, they also got a chance to help launch Teddy Riley's career.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes. So Teddy Riley actually used to hang around with them in their basement. He's like, go get them sandwiches and all kind of stuff or whatever.
Oh, man.
Right?
Wow.
And
So
so,
they do boy.
yeah, I mean,
But
and
they
he,
roadie. I ain't gonna say do boy,
but he soaked
He was the
everything up.
intern.
That up.
Yeah, he was the
That's where he
intern.
got that from.
He
Yep.
played
In
his
the
position,
studio.
He played this position. Right. See, that's what you gotta do. Play your position.
Yep.
Look at the
Teddy
outcome.
did that. See, you got to do that at a young age because Teddy did that when he was really, really
He had to
young.
yo, that's what I was gonna say. He had to be like what, 10, 11,
12,
I mean,
13,
he
14,
probably
and
been
maybe
mad
14.
young,
Yeah.
12?
Maybe the most 14. But still.
that's not the only one.
But yo,
Okay,
we
who
went
else?
way too fast. I forgot to say a shout out to our sponsors.
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Pomade.
Y'all see it.
Shout out to Pomade. Yes.
Y'all see what
the
it is.
Bomb Lemonade vodka that only uses organic lemons.
Organic
So
at that.
It is a vodka that you can feel good about. Okay? You actually feel somewhat healthy, having that on a nice summer day like today. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
nice
saying?
hot summer day.
The
Go
choice
ahead.
is clear.
I don't know about
Pomade.
the you
feel me?
actually could drink it today, but you better get up under some AC.
You
And
better,
drink
you
some
better.
water, okay? Just always stay hydrated
I'ma
as
tell
you
that.
are
That's right.
drinking,
Get up under some
okay?
AC.
Most definitely. So, yeah, shout out and all the thanks to our
Well, Bizzo,
sponsor.
man, 50 years, man. I got it. I just got to because you got it. You was there.
Yeah.
You was there. Just not even. Let's not talk about where it actually came from, but just hip hop itself.
Right.
How did it? You know what I'm saying? What did you see coming up? I mean, it's about to be like you really about to see this joint be 50 years of this thing that you love the
Okay.
Sitting
I
down.
can't say it was 50, though.
Well, what would you say?
Because I didn't catch it in 73 when they saying it started.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
okay,
Like,
here
So
we
tell
go.
your story of when you felt like you were
Right.
influenced by it.
okay, so the first thing that I heard that made me think hip hop was Rapper's Delight.
Okay.
Okay.
So about
and
80,
but now,
81.
right, this came right off the heels of maybe 79.
79.
Yeah,
Yeah.
79.
Because this came off the
79.
heels of Sheik's Good Times, which was already
Already,
the best record that I ever heard in my life. Sheik's Good Times, right? That was
can
the
hear it in
best
my
record
head.
I ever heard in my life. And it was long and it had this break in it. It would say good times and then it'd be this long break, right? So they just took that, to me it felt like they just got some people to replay that break and rap to it. But the fact that they rapped to it for like 14 minutes was like incredible. Because this is the
Honestly,
longest
it is
record you
incredible.
ever heard in your life. But it was the best, longest record you ever heard because you wanted to hear every
14
single second
minutes.
of 14 minutes of the first record of rapping. Okay? Now, I'm just going to say, like, kind of at the same time, it's like, this is a foggy recollection, but I felt like Curtis Blow was right around that same time, though. He came with Christmas rapping at Christmas time, right? And that blew us away because the beat was crazy, but it wasn't like a hip hop beat. But it was a beat that you could take and they put an instrumental on the other side. You could take it and then you could rap to it. It was called Do It Yourself instrumental version. That's what it said on the other side of the record. So it was encouraging you to rap.
It's always the B-side.
The B-side.
It's always the B-side.
This is my first recollections of hip hop. So now, these two records together, right, simultaneously, made me say, yo, like, not just me, like my older brother at the same time was like, I'm going to be a DJ and I'm going to go secure what I need to become a DJ. So he started getting turntables.
Okay.
So now so I'm seeing him now. We all already have record collections, like, because our parents definitely collected records, right? But then other people, you know, on the block, their parents would have records too. And then the older kids, like the kids that were teenagers, they were buying records, right? So my brother started buying hip hop records because then after that, like hip hop records started coming out. Like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five came out with Super Rapping. Like this is another record that people don't even really recall them for, but this is their first record though.
Okay.
And this became the record that if you were a DJ, there was a part in this record that you had to start like learning how to cut because maybe before that, Grandmaster Flash came out with the Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel.
Okay.
And that was like a record of him showing people how to cut Good Times.
Right.
Oh.
So like Rapper's Delight, they had Good Times played over, but Flash had the real Good Times on a record where he was actually cutting it, like scratching it. Okay. So you were like, oh, schmack, that's what DJing is supposed to be.
Okay.
So everybody tried to come, like, fake that, like, not fake it, but learn the routine that was on the record. Because it was like Flash had took 4 records and he just scratched them like crazy. Like, he scratched Apache. He scratched The Birthday Party by Themselves. He scratched Good Times.
Did he do James Brown?
No, and he scratched Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one, yeah. Another one bites the dust. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doom.
So this record probably came out like in maybe 82.
Okay.
So at this point, 82, I'm 14. This is when I'm like, I'm going to be a DJ.
Oh, Lord, I was 4.
I was just born.
He was just born. He's like, I'm in the house. What's up?
You was just born. Lord have mercy, boy.
Yeah, this was like maybe my 8th grade or 9th grade year when I'm 14.
Okay.
So this is when I'm like, yo, I want to, this is like when I said I want to be in hip hop, like I want to be a DJ.
See, that's
that's
But my
awesome
brother was
times.
already doing it though, too, also.
that's so the timeline is definitely right. Hip hop was generated probably more around that time where you got it more.
That's when like recorded hip hop. Now, to take you back a little bit before that, which we didn't know about in Philly, which was going on in New York, was they were having like these parties and somebody was recording these parties
Right.
of Flash, Theodore, DJ AJ, all of these different dudes DJing and people really rapping to them. Like rapping to them DJing, not the records that we was hearing, Curtis Blow and because like to be honest with you, like they were the corny rappers.
Okay, yeah.
Curtis Blow and Sugar Hill Gang. They were like the corny rappers. Because they didn't have as much flow as like Spoonie G and the Treacherous Three. Like what?
Okay.
They could really like Kool Mo D. You know what he became, but he was rapping back then.
Yeah, he was.
with his peoples,
Yeah,
the Treacherous Three,
Mm-hmm.
and they could rap. So.
Cash.
So we started, but we never really heard freestyling, like not freestyling, but like somebody doing it live, not a recording of it.
Right.
So then someone had put the recording that was on a tape on a record and put it out in the stores. And my brother bought it. It was called Live Convention 81. They had one from 81, and then they had one that was 77 to 79.
Oh wow.
So it was like showing us that people was doing this before the records. This is what was happening before the records came out, and what may have inspired what was coming out on the records. Because, go ahead.
That would be so cool to even get your hands on that, something like that now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's available. Like you can get it. I'm gonna play one of the conventions at the at our hip hop celebration. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna play one of them
That's so dope.
so
That'd
people
be
can
dope.
experience that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because I sure enough.
Because that's
didn't
what
get
hip hop
that
really,
experience.
to me, like that is.
I did.
That's the like so that and they said this was 77. So I never heard a 73 tape.
Okay.
So like me, I'm a hip hop historian. I go back and I find the tapes.
See, this is
So I never
exactly
heard a
what-
73
this is exactly
tape.
what he was saying. That
But I heard a 77 tape
see,
though.
That's what
Okay.
that's what Crazy Leg was saying when it goes down and they start doing their history and they start going down the line and they can't find these things, they gonna start dating hip hop at this time. So
Yeah, they
You know.
they really are. Now, have you ever heard? They always talk about also like Grandmaster Flowers came before this. They always put that out there. You ever heard any
who
of
the
his
first
stuff?
Grandmaster flat?
Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm a
The
historian,
Grandmaster.
so I've studied and researched it, right?
Yeah.
So I have heard of Grandmaster Flowers, right?
Yeah.
Flowers was not doing what Grandmaster Flash was doing though.
Okay.
Like Grandmaster Flash, he kind of revolutionized New York DJing
Gotcha.
because prior to him, it really wasn't no what we call rubbing to start, which was scratching, right? And it wasn't no like back cueing on like one part of the song and just chopping that up. Like wasn't nobody doing that. And Flash was like the first because I heard him on the convention. He took Christmas rapping, right?
Okay.
And it was like and that's the first time I like heard somebody doing that, like just chopping just one part of the song. Like
So he
people was just
revolutionized
like
that.
before that, people were like just like bringing the beat back on time, right? So like so it would be like a 4-measure break beat, right? And it'll play ooh ah 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 ooh ah, and then you just bring it back in on beat. You wouldn't be scratching it. Flash was first to be like digga 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 doom digga 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 digga. Like he was the first to do that, and I was like, oh man, what is that?
Okay.
He said that Theodore did it before him.
Yeah.
Because Theodore was making a mistake. His mom came in the room and told him to stop doing it, and he put his finger on the turntable like that and just held it.
Right.
And when he turned around and talked to his mom, he accidentally moved it back and forth, and he was like, what did I just do? Like his mom is yelling at him, like, what are you doing to my records?
Right.
And he's like, what did I just do though?
Right.
Ticka ticka tick, ticka
That was
tick,
dope right
ticka
there.
ticka 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 tick. He was like, yo. But Flash had to, he tells the story of how he made it so that we could even slide the record back and forth without it messing up the
Without it
record
messing
or
up the
jumping off the needle jumping out of the groove.
That was
Okay.
that was the wondering right there how the world was the record not being messed up and the needle, because I remember my cousin.
See, that was the problem for the earlier DJs.
Needles.
The earlier DJs didn't, like Flash being the engineer, understood that the needle had to stay in the groove when he spun it back. The other people wasn't spinning it back. They was just picking the record, picking the arm up and putting it back on the
Right, they would do it like that.
Right, they
and
would
then
just
put
lift it up and put it back. Flash came up with spin
Spinning
it back like this because this is going to be more precise and I can count what I'm doing.
Wow.
These guys, you can't count the grooves in the record and be like, okay, 5 grooves back. Flash figured that out, like, okay, da-da-da-da. But he couldn't do that with the turntable at the time because it had a rubber mat on it.
Right.
Or it had like a hard plastic thing that would mess up the other side of the record. So you didn't want to do that. So Flash had to engineer something to put in between the both to make it so that it would be no friction to spin it back and it wouldn't mess up your record. And the needle wouldn't jump too. So he had to do all 3 at one time.
Wow.
But he figured out all 3.
That's amazing.
And him just figuring that out gave people like me the confidence to just try it, even though I didn't even know what I was doing. I just was going to try it because I saw him doing it.
Right.
I was like, it could be done, so I'm going to try it. But I didn't even think about all the stuff that he's talking about, like, oh, man, spin it back. How am I going to do that? Because he already figured that out for us. He was like, just get these, get some paper and some wax paper.
Oh, okay.
And put that on top of the plastic part.
Okay.
So that you can easily spin back.
Wow. Okay. Now
That
we
was
learning
it.
all the tricks and
So
everything.
now they don't even have they got it when they come. It come with that now, right?
Well, now technology, because we, that's all, like us as DJs, we try to figure out the problem, right? Because it still was a problem. It wasn't easy. Like, you still, like, had to be on your thing. Like, because if you spun it back too hard, needle fly across the record.
That's
You know
all.
what I'm saying? So
Ooh.
it still was some engineering that had to be done. And then
Okay.
even so, like, now they made it so that you don't even have needles no more.
Yeah, like yeah.
And
Wow.
you could be doing the same thing that you would do on turntables without needles.
Without needles. Because I
Yeah.
know my cousin used to tell me, do not touch my turntables because it says needles.
The needles are expensive,
No needles.
and it's not like you could go to like the supermarket and get them.
Right.
Like
Right.
you had to go to the record store, and then when DJing was really, really popular,
Uh-huh.
they might not have them in stock because
Right.
there's too many
Too
people
many
buying them.
buying
You know what I'm
them.
saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah, that was
and then no needle, no record, no music. Like, so you had to have needles. So yeah, it was important.
yeah, needles.
So when it come to, I remember they said that at first, like, they would just play, like way back in the day, they would just play the whole record and then
Right.
have like a whole nother song play. So where was the inception of having both turntables and you could just blend one song to another continuously?
Okay,
like
so
the blend.
so Hurt came with what they call was the merry-go-round,
Okay.
right? Where he wasn't doing it with the same record, he was doing it with two different records.
Right.
Gotcha.
So he would just take like James Brown, Funky Drummer, right?
Right.
And get to the drum break part, right? Like needle drop it to the drum break part. Play that 1, 2, 3, 4, get it. Doom, doom, right? Then he got another break. Say he got Soul Searchers, no, Bob James, Mardi Gras. Say he
Okay.
got Bob James, so click, click, boom, boom, the Peter Piper break. Right? He would just needle drop it, so it wouldn't be on beat, and it wouldn't be the
That
same
sound off.
the same two records at one time. So it would be it was fly because we never heard it before.
Right.
And we loved those parts of the records. So it was definitely different, but it wasn't what Flash was doing. Flash was like, I got to make that transition from one turntable to the other seamless.
Without-
I don't want to be trying to needle drop. I want to I want to make that same record keep going. I don't want to switch to another record and keep switching back and forth between records.
And he was
So that's what Herc was doing. He was switching back and forth between different songs. Flash had the same song on both turntables
Wow.
and was like making that record longer.
Okay. So that's probably why both of them were
he
so
was listening
in.
to the also to my bad. He was listening to the song others record while it was playing too, right?
Peekaboo system. He introduced that too, meaning
he started
let
that
me
too.
hear what this one has on it so that I know I'm coming in on time.
Right.
But before he invented Peekaboo, he just realized it was revolutions.
So that
It was like, how many spin backs will get it back to this break part? And I'm gonna mark the record with a crayon so that I can tell where the beginning of this is on the record.
This is why you gotta respect the DJ, because that's I can't. Ain't no way. Can you do that? Yeah,
I've never even.
But
got
that
on a
is
turntable,
that is
so most definitely
that is
not.
the actual beginning of like beat production.
right. that's
Because
what I'm
Flash
talking
was
about.
taking like a beat and reconstructing it himself. And he could speed it up or slow it down. And you wouldn't know because he's reconstructing something that you're like, if I never heard this record before, and then he's making the beat faster, I don't know what beat this is. So then Flash, that's why he would black out his records too. So that other DJs couldn't see what the breaks was that he was using.
Wow. I mean, I think the point is that it's always like somebody always say, okay, well, this person came first, but they're always an innovation that pushed the genre in a new direction, and that's why they're so important. So I mean, you can't
Right,
diminish
there's always
anybody's
an inventor of
contribution
something. There's
to
always a person who
hip-hop. Everybody came with something different that was important.
Everybody came
You know
with
what I
something.
mean?
There's a person who invents something, and then there's a person who makes something famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kool Herc and them might have what we call invented it. Kool Herc and Africa Bambaataa.
Right.
But Flash, as far as DJing, made it famous because nobody before Flash had been on a record doing any scratches.
Okay.
Nobody. He's the first to scratch on recorded, like where you hear it and you're like, wow. He's the first person I heard do that.
Right.
I never, and to this day, I still haven't heard Kool Herc scratch.
Okay.
I haven't seen him scratch or do that yet.
I haven't really seen
seen him
Kool
get
Herc
on-
ever
get
DJ, to be
on
honest
DJ.
with you.
That's what I'm
And I'm not
saying.
trying to be a hater, but this is just my experience with hip hop. I never seen Kool Herc
Not
DJ.
one time, yo.
I
and
still,
no
to this day,
disrespect.
see Flash DJing.
He doing something now on Shade 45, I think.
No,
be
he got his
doing-
own YouTube
Yeah,
joint.
he be
Okay.
doing something where he takes like the old records,
Right.
and mix it with and let it and show how the same exactly what you're talking about, and show how it blends in with the new records. Yeah, he
Okay.
does that now. So he be showing that out. But Juice, man, what's your take on it, man? With the DJs, man, respecting the DJ, because you being a b-boy.
So from my knowledge, what started the merry-go-round was trying to keep the b-boys on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why Kool Herc started the merry-go-round, was to keep the beat going, so the b-boys would be on the floor longer, keeping the crowd hype, keeping the energy
That part
going.
of the record is the part of the record that made everybody dance harder.
Yep.
So, like, a lot of times people would wait to hear that part of the record to really get excited
Yep.
and do, like, certain moves.
The b-boys would wait for that break, and they come out and they go on the attack on each other, and the crowd would go nuts.
Go stupid
You know what I'm
nuts.
saying? Which would in turn make them go nuts, which would in turn excite the DJ and make the DJ go even more nuts and keep it
Gotcha.
going.
Hip hop. boy.
Now, didn't James Brown say like hip hop used the end? That wasn't a break like the end of his song. I think he said something like,
James
you know,
Brown.
It was
he's
always
using
the drum
end of
break.
song.
Yo, word up.
But it
We
wasn't
was
just, like, I'm just going to be honest, it didn't start off really with James.
Okay.
It started off with other people.
Conceited, who knows?
Okay.
James Brown, I mean,
But he did say that. He was like,
he had a contribution to, like, what the breakbeat culture was. He did
Right.
have a few contributions, right?
Right.
But he was not the author of it. Now, what I will say is, like, where James Brown's real power comes in is when people started making records and started sampling. That's where James Brown became, like, the godfather of hip hop, so to speak, because we all wanted to sample everything that he had because of the drum grooves. But like in the breakbeat culture, James Brown didn't have like all the he doesn't have all the main contributions. It's other people who have records whose records are bigger contributors to me to the beginning of hip hop. Like
Okay.
Apache, right? Apache is like
that's the.
You hear that all the time.
Yes. That's
the Incredible Bongo Band. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was those guys? They didn't make
Right.
nothing else.
You're right. You see those people that is not mentioned,
But they got one of the most important records ever to hip hop, the Honey Drippers.
Honey drips. Mm-hmm.
Impeach the President. Like, that's a record that's like super important to hip hop, but it's not by James Brown. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Funky Drummer is also like a huge record to hip hop, and it is by James Brown. You know, because of the drum. But Funky Drummer is a record James Brown didn't even want. Like, he didn't even like it.
Yeah,
The drummer, Clyde Stubblefield, said that was practice.
So they ain't even care for that. They just.
I mean, but it seems
That was
like
the
that's
B-side
always
that
the
we just
story
needed to
with
fill up a
artists. I didn't like that
45
record,
with.
but that's the one that everybody liked. You know what I mean?
That's the one that
crazy
is like
part.
the main drum loop from James Brown.
Okay, let's we got a debate here. Who is better, Biggie or Ice Cube?
Biggie or Ice Cube?
Uh-huh.
It's hard to say because Biggie ain't here.
Well,
Because if you look at
Mm.
collectively, like continuously putting out music and rhymes and everything, Ice Cube's been on it since day one, and he's still, if you listen to his lyrics and stuff today, he still got it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He just did the Mount Westmore project.
yeah,
Just did that.
he's definitely been on the ground running since day one, and he ain't stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like He has his own
What you
style.
say?
But
Oh,
but
you know
as
I'm
far
about to say that.
but as far as lyrical, Biggie was way superior.
Oh, well, you
lyrical
think so?
Wait, hold on. Way superior.
Wait.
To me.
Wait. Now,
The-
okay.
Because
Okay.
reason why I say that is because like
Go ahead.
Ice Cube, he stays in his pocket,
Right.
but Biggie he would change up his flow depending on the beat and who he was with.
Okay,
You know what
that
I'm saying?
is very
and that,
true.
That goes a long way when it comes down to your content.
Okay, so
Now,
wait, Ice
okay.
Cube
In my
traveled
opinion.
all the way to the East Coast and started working with Public Enemy. Totally different from the West Coast.
Right.
And
It
killed
fit
it.
right in.
And killed
Oh, yeah.
it.
Right,
Matter of
right,
fact,
right.
might have killed some of those Public Enemy
think he
beats
killed
better
them.
than Chuck D.
I think
Facts.
he killed
That-
that.
now-
Right?
Facts.
So is that
Yeah.
not what you just an example of what you just said about Biggie
Right,
molding
right,
to
right.
the beat?
Now check this out, right? Now, okay, so this whole thing started when Tony Yayo had brought this up, right?
Yes, uh-huh.
And so basically, he did respond to this. And so he did have some interesting points because, again, all right, so let's put this in a context here. All right, so Biggie had some great songs. Biggie was a great storyteller. When Biggie told a story, you felt like you was
right
in
there.
You was right there. You was
Okay.
everything, right? So there's absolutely no doubt that he was a fantastic storyteller.
Right.
Okay. Okay, now Ice Cube. Ice Cube started early and continued even after Biggie was gone.
Before Biggie
Okay,
and after
and
Biggie.
after Biggie. Now,
Right.
That's
now
why I
here's
say it's kind of hard to say because
Kinda hard.
right
You know what I
now.
mean?
Ice Cube also was saying that listen, you can't even stop my storytelling skills at just rapping. He said because not only did I rap for myself,
I did
he
movies.
said, but I also did movies,
I did
and
movies.
I also
Yep.
wrote for the entire NWA. I wrote for Easy.
We were just talking
I
about
wrote for
that.
everybody, and so basically, like the people who you thought was rapping, that was me too.
Right.
He said, so really, he's like, when it comes to top contenders, he said, I'm already winning. So
He's already winning because I
the
think he
category,
won on
you
that
feel
one
me?
because
So,
because honestly he's about right because he wrote for damn near everybody. He did do movies. Big's nice. I like Big. I smoke with everything. I love Big. But again, to me, if you ask me who's better than Big and Pun, I would go with Pun.
it's almost unfair because Biggie died so early.
He died so
It's
early.
kind of unfair.
But Pun died early
really.
too, though.
yeah. I was
But
about to
Pun
say
was a nasty beast when he was here. Pun was
Yeah.
nasty.
Pun
with
was
it.
nasty. He was
Come
bilingual.
on, man,
He was
them
breaking
words-
down. I mean,
And he
like,
was big.
You feel me?
So and he was just nice with it. You know what I mean? He was just nice with it. That's just me, man.
Yeah.
Pun
Well,
read
this is what
every
I'm
word
saying
in the
about, like
dictionary
I
and
was
made sure
saying.
you knew it. You
Like
know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
okay, like
His
I was
rhymes.
saying earlier, your only way you're judged or you're like if you judge as a storyteller by your albums that you put out, right?
Right.
Right. So like Biggie has two of the like best albums that I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah, the best. And we didn't get to.
So does that make him a better rapper than somebody who doesn't have as many best albums that I ever heard in my life when they had way more opportunities to make the best album I ever heard in my life? Like Ice Cube has a lot. He had a lot of opportunities to achieve that, right?
Yep.
And he might have achieved it like twice to me.
Okay.
Biggie achieved it every time he made an album.
Okay.
So we didn't get to really see.
we didn't
Exactly.
Because he
You
was
know-
going to make 10 more that I was like, oh, crap, this is like the best album I ever heard.
You know what's so
or
weird?
they
that
could,
you,
or
go
they
ahead,
could have
my
ended up
bad.
not being that good either.
That's what
You know
I
what I'm saying? Like,
mean.
you don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. So,
Now I don't
You
know
don't know which
because
way.
look,
You don't know which way it would have.
we didn't get to really see the promotion of Life After Death. You know what I'm saying? When that album dropped, he was dead. You know, he died.
right.
So we didn't get to see like him perform.
He ain't got to do nothing for none of those songs, right?
Videos, really.
Right.
None of that. You know, it really didn't get the promotion like it would have. I guarantee.
I think it still got
I mean,
as
of course,
much promotion because he died.
because he died.
Right.
But I'm talking about him as him being alive, and
Right.
actually going off the album. Because we was watching some thing where they did this AI thing with Biggie,
Right.
and they performed Life After Death. And I said, imagine, and we was watching that, and I was like, wow, imagine if we would have caught that when he was alive and got to see that and see the progress of what, because remember, he died in when, what, 97. 3 more years was 2000.
Oh, and think about it, he was
that
only
album
24
still
years
would've been
old.
Jumping.
What?
Think about it, he was only 24 years old.
And he was 24.
Yep.
So 3 more years would have been 2000. So honestly, that's when Pun would have came in. Pun would have had to go against that album because now Big is performing. We got more videos.
Punk came out in 98.
Well,
didn't he?
Pumpkin, yeah, Capital
Yeah,
Punishment came out in
in
98.
Yeah.
My bad,
Yeah,
excuse
yeah,
me. 98. So he did go against Big. So at the end of the day,
I still
I mean,
remember when
still.
I got that album. My homeboy handed that to me. My homeboy Sin. He handed me that album before homeroom one morning, and I was like, "What is this?"
yeah, I remember seeing that
That shit
album
blew
too.
me away.
I remember seeing. I was like, "Oh my god!" I had to literally like go back and rewind it again because I was like, "What did this man just say?"
Listen, I honestly, I didn't even buy the actual album. I had a bootleg of Capital
Oh yeah, I had a
Punishment,
bootleg
okay?
too. I ain't gonna even front.
And I really didn't know about Big Pun like that. I'm not even gonna sit up here in front like that. I don't even remember how I got it, but I just happened to pop it in one day, and I was just like, "This dude is nasty." Like he
Yeah,
was
he
just,
nasty.
I mean, every word that you can possibly think of, he was using
He
it.
could
And I'm
use it.
like,
Big Pun was
damn.
That's
crazy
when I
with
was
it.
like, every freaking word, like what the, and flipping it. Like, what
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world? Yeah, man. But that's hip hop for you. But to me, they all was great.
Oh,
Regardless of the fact, they all great. You know, it's everybody got their own lane.
I was a huge West Coast fan before I got into East Coast.
Yeah.
I liked the West Coast music. It was
I
alright.
always got a spot for G Funk. I don't know.
Yeah,
G-Funk.
G-Funk was dope.
It was funky.
It was
You know what
funky.
I'm
It was
saying?
funky. I ain't gonna
It
lie.
hit your soul.
Before I started b-boying, the only other dance I did was Seawalk. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So-
Okay.
So the G Funk.
Yeah, that
Definitely got me
G-Funk,
started.
that G-Funk is definitely I like that. That nice little groove.
And the crazy part about it is, it's like, depending on where you
Soulful.
were at, because I know where I was at in the Midwest, Tupac was everything. I mean, he was
Okay.
like close to. You couldn't say nothing.
Tupac
Like
was
I was like,
God.
I like
Tupac
Biggie
was
too.
everything
I can't
everywhere.
like Biggie.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I mean, it was like the East Coast West Coast beef was thick. Like you said, you like Biggie. It was a problem. I said, dang, I want to like Biggie too. I mean,
That's right, that's right.
But it just was. It was like that. So it was just kind of according to where you were at. But definitely,
It is what it is, you know.
is
That's
what it
what
is.
hip hop is. Juice, man, you got any shout outs, anything you want to do, man, before we get up out of here, man?
I want to give a shout out to the Heartbeat Breakers. They from the 80s.
Okay.
Brother Trav was in that.
All right.
I want to give a shout out.
Brother
Oh,
Travis breakdancing back in the day?
Yeah.
Every
right.
You gotta
Go
see
ahead,
him
Brother
break
Trav.
dance.
Go ahead
I gotta
there.
see him break dance.
He's actually the first person to give me and my boys a hip hop show to perform at in '99, I think
Shout out
it
to
was.
Brother Travis.
It was at one of his spoken words.
That's
Nice,
what's up.
nice.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Old School. He's the one who taught Kid Sonic, and Kid Sonic's the one that introduced me to b-boying.
Okay.
Ill
Kid
Crew.
Sonic.
Ill Crew was my OG b-boy Kodak, Gemini the Third Vision, b-boy Still, and then after that, it was like I said, Wicked Flavors, which was Kid Sonic, Tigger, me, Little Wiggles, B-Girl Finesse, who ended up becoming B-Girl Vandana and became one of the best B-Girls in the United States in the mid-2000s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She got with a crew called Burnt Unit up in Atlanta, and they dominated
That's what's
Atlanta.
up.
You know what I'm saying? All this from Augusta. Kid Sonic, he ended up doing the Funk Master Flex tour.
Okay.
Now he does shows all over the world. He's
He everywhere with it.
he's got the biggest crew here in Augusta is Mixed Motions crew. That's his crew.
Okay, shout out to
You know what I'm
Miss
saying?
Motion.
They've been a part of the Atlanta Hawks dance team, the Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
Braves dance team, and now the Falcons dance team. Like
Okay.
they helped start all three
Wow.
of those from
Wow.
Augusta.
Wow,
Okay.
from
You know
Augusta.
what I'm saying?
See?
And Kid Sonic's actually the captain. He's been the captain on almost all three of those.
Okay,
Okay.
Kid Sonic doing
You know what I
his
mean?
thing.
only other thing I want to say is I host open dance sessions and lessons on Riverwalk every Sunday from 3 to 6. I just put out the floor. Whoever shows up, shows up. If it's just me, I'll be out there by myself.
People can just come out there.
Yeah,
all y'all break dancers and b-boys, y'all need to holler at my man Juice every Sunday on the Riverwalk.
If you really about it.
We've been teaching a 5-year-old since November, B-Boy Wild West.
Okay.
That boy is nasty, representing Augusta, already winning competitions.
We might need him to come up in the show right quick.
Yeah.
Oh, they planning on coming.
They planning on, okay, yeah.
And
We're talking about that.
I just started teaching an 8-year-old last Sunday.
That's
You know what
dope,
I'm saying?
Juice.
So we'll see what the future holds,
dope.
but right now it's looking pretty good.
So where they can find you at on your social media if they was looking
Man,
for
I'm
you?
terrible with social media.
You
but,
terrible? Everybody, I'm terrible with it too, man.
It's Bboy Juice0311
Okay.
_.
Something.
You got to find the tag. There you go.
Juice.
I cannot remember.
Yo, hold on.
'Cause I use social media for connection and for video storage. That's really all I
He
use
said
it
that's
for.
it.
Hold on. Let me see. Here you go, Juice. Is that it right there?
I can't even see that.
There you go.
You know, I'm getting old, right? Okay, so it's Bboy Juice0311 _TEK MFOA, which stands for Mouthful of Ants, which is my international b-boy crew that I'm a part of.
I was gonna ask you about that. The mouthful of ants.
make sure y'all write that
just see
down.
you put that down, man.
Yeah, so I actually represent 4 crews now. TK, which is an All Styles crew that I started back in 2016.
Okay.
I still represent Mixed Motions. I represent Rogues and Rebels, which is my boy Paco the Panic out of Atlanta. He's a legend up in ATL, but it's a movement he started. I'm a part of that. And then Mouthful of Ants was started by my boy B-Boy Mikey Ice from LA.
Okay.
He's a b-boy historian. KRS-One mentioned him in his book, but he started Mouthful of Ants. I want to say around 2000 or whatever, but we got members in almost every continent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what that stands for.
That's what's up there. Well, it is what it is. You know what time it is. We up out of here, man. It's the 50th year of hip-hop, man. We celebrated with my homeboy Juice doing his thing, man. We appreciate you, man, for coming out, man.
Appreciate y'all.
It's all love, man. And we up out of here, man. It's the Boom Bap Hour. Peace.
We out. 50
Peace.
years.